Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Welcome to CraftStash Live. It's not Friday, it's Wednesday today because I very nearly said Friday. We're almost in August. Where is the summer going to? I hope you're having beautiful weather as well as I am here. Now, I've got a really sunny, happy day because I've got lovely Sizzix joining us today. We are going to be covering the Chapter 3 new products. So Josh is going to run through some of his favourites. Everything that he's going to be demonstrating today is all available here at CraftStash. So that's www.craftstash.co.uk, or if you're overseas, craftstash.us. You'll always find lots of offers and deals and such on there. Just very quickly, I do need to tell you as well, we've got an amazing deal on magazine kits on CraftStash today too. Now, I'm getting this housekeeping bits over and out because I want to pass over to Josh and just let him take over for as long as possible, because we love Sizzix demos, we love Sizzix products, and it's best if you don't have me keep butting in, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to lovely Josh Griffiths in just a second, and I'm going to literally let him take it away with all the new products. Please do make sure you're commenting. I'll be reading them. I'll actually be in the comments. I'll comment back to you on YouTube and on Facebook whilst Josh is live, and then you come back to me and I'll just remind you of where you can purchase all these products. So shall we go straight over to Josh? He looks like he's there, he's ready and waiting. So this is kind of, we've not had a live with Josh before. We've actually always had Pete doing it. I don't know where Pete is actually. I didn't ask. I was really excited to have Josh for a change because we've never worked with him before. So very, very excited for this. Please all sit down, grab a cup of tea, and I'm going to let Josh take it away. So Josh, I hope you're all well. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, please do talk us through all these fantastic new Chapter 3 items.
Well, thank you. One sec.
We have got so many gremlins.
There's the first technical hit. It wasn't like a really complicated one. It was literally the AirPod falling out of my ear. So I haven't caught up with technology yet, as you'll all be aware. You mentioned commenting, going in the comments. I absolutely straight away after this live, I will go and watch this back, not in a vain way, but I'll go and watch this back and I will read through all the comments and respond to people. I absolutely love reading your comments. But yeah, it is all about our brand new Chapter 3. So Chapter 3 at Sizzix is all about, it's kind of the coming to the end of summer. So we still have some kind of more evergreen or summery days in there, but it's also reaching to Christmas, and that is absolutely fine by me because Christmas, sort of Halloween, those lovely cozy cold seasons, they are my favourite. One, just for the weather, two, for crafting, because you know it gives you the best purposes to craft, like Halloween and of course Christmas. So the ones I'm going to be focusing on today, let's just have a look through the dies just before we do anything. We've got a mixture of dies by Olivia Rose, who is a fantastic designer. All of our designers are absolutely fantastic. So we've got Olivia Rose. This one here called Sky Party. I absolutely love that name. And I really love this embellished image as well. We're going to be using some of those really cute little penguins. And we've got that floating Father Christmas there as well, or Santa. So, I'm not sure if there's going to be any US watchers, but yeah, so Father Christmas or Santa, and that cool polar bear wearing a jumper. I'm going to touch on that one as well. All these balloons, I love a balloon die, especially when it has all these kind of shiny details there, because at heart I'm an illustrator, so anything sort of character based or cute like that is fine by me.
Fabulous.
So,
Josh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
There's not too much of a delay. Your microphone must have been knocked when you decided to throw your earpod across the room. So is it the one that's in with your earpod? We can still hear you. It's just a little bit quieter, that's all.
Can you hear me any better now?
Oh, that is, yes.
Okay, right, that's great. So our very talented cameraman, James, had the brilliant idea of giving me his AirPod, which is probably the one that's got the microphone in it. Or
yes,
something. So I'll
perfect.
Pass James mine in case he needs it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, I was saying, yeah, we've just covered the Sky Party die. The next one I was about to show is this one here, which is called Santa Active. activities. And again, this is by Olivia Rose. Olivia is very, very good at these little cute character dice. I feel like she pairs the perfect elements with the characters in here. So we've got these little Santas here, but you know, the embellished images are showing them wearing different colours of clothes. And I think it's about time, you know, Father Christmas wears the same thing every single day of his life, I guess, or whenever we see him, and maybe you could do with a few different shades. But this is a really fun set to work with. You can see here this cool car. The car is brilliant on its own. We've got these gifts here. We have the umbrellas, those fairy lights, and this one, my favourite, which is Santa skiing. Then, do you know what? I'll show you the last of these Olivia Rose dice. This is a less character-based one here. This die set is called Delicate Autumn Stems. It says autumn in the title, but of course these can be used for, you know, summer. These are evergreen dies. Depending what cardstock or what colour you're using, it's going to be applicable year round. So another really fantastic, well-balanced floral die set there from Olivia Rose. But I have to say, this set here, favourite set of that I've seen so far this year. I absolutely love it. Look at these cool illustrative animal dies here. They've all got that lovely little, you know, the effect where you're getting just that little arc for a closed eye. I just think it's so simple and so lovely and so friendly. Also the kind of playful nature of the shapes. Die set, the clouds, they just look really welcoming, approachable. The trees, they've got these soft edges. They're just so broad and just fun shaped. And of course, we've got this welcome banner. Anything with a banner, I absolutely love. And then we've got this die set here. That's by Olivia Rose also. I'm going to be doing some more festive makes today, just because I'm obsessed with Christmas. And I just think, you know, us crafters, we have to start early. If you're going to a show, something like that, maybe you're going to a craft fair, prepping for a Christmas craft fair, or even if you are just producing your Christmas cards now, ready for the holiday season, we start early. So I'm sure everyone in the comments will agree that I want to know how many people have started already on their best. So we've got this one here that says Warm Winter Wishes. I love the fact that they're not so generic. These, obviously we've got Peace on Earth, that's classic, but then we've got Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, Joy to the World there, and then we've got that fa la 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 la, and I counted these because I'm very anal. Fa la 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 la. So we needed it to have that many syllables within that. If it had been missing one, I would have.
Oh no. I'm going to be singing that now the rest of the day.
That's what happens as soon as you start on your Christmas makes. All the way through summer now, I've got Christmas songs in my head. So, we're going to get started with this favourite of mine here, and we're going to do a box, so a shadow box creation. I used that fantastic fa la 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 stamp, and we've got this lovely square card that I've cut prior to fit within this box frame. Now, a box frame, what I mean by that, it has an insert inside. That means that you can layer, and these are available in any kind of shop. You know, I'm not going to name any of the shops.
I think I know the one you mean. There's one that sells quite a lot of different sizes and colours.
Hopefully they'll know the shop. So the first thing we're going to do, I've taken this circle framelit. It's a large circle framelit. I'm going to use my switch machine, and I'm just going to cut sort of central above there, right in the center. So I want to make sure that it's centered, because this is going to be the aperture that you're going to be looking through. I absolutely love a shadow box. I just think I'm all about dimension and using the light to kind of do what it's going to do and play over and favorite things to do. So I'm just going to make sure that this is central. There we go.
Perfect. Oh, you're brave not using tape.
I know. I did think, do you know what? I'm going to run upstairs and get some of my maker's tape, because it would have been a good idea. But decided to live life on the edge.
Well, I've got some here. If I could just throw it a few hundred miles.
I'm sure you can throw a few hundred miles.
I could try.
Yeah. There we go. So I'm not really utilizing the switch machine here, because I could have actually been doing other stuff whilst that was cutting through the switch machine. That is the beauty of the switch machine. So there we are. We've got this aperture ready. And I'm going to be building a scene within this. So I keep using this when I'm building the scene just to check how it looks, how I've framed it. So let's start getting a bit messy now. I've got my media mat ready. I'm going to be using some of our acrylic paints here. And I've chosen a gradient. So you can see here that we've got white to this limoncello, then we've got Arctic sky and blue. So we're going from light to dark. And that's because I'm going to be brayering, blending using a brayer, a sky
Lovely.
here. I decided to use paint now because I think I've just come back from my paternity leave.
Oh yes, I know I spoke to you yesterday, but I need to publicly congratulate you on the birth of your little girl. She's so cute.
So much. I'm so happy. It was it's a shock to the system. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a morning person, but I am now.
Or a middle of the night person.
Yeah. I'm coming in here with some white, and before that dries, I'm going to be adding as I go. On the side here, the media mat's letting me get very messy.
It's a very clean media mat. You're obviously very disciplined at cleaning it after each use.
Well, do you know what? The media mat, it's easy. It's very easy clean, so it helps me to stay organised. Ooh, look at that blend.
Oh, that's gorgeous. And that's so much quicker than, for example, taking your inks and your blending tools.
Exactly, yeah, it is quicker. And I just think that paint doesn't really get its time in the sun when we're blending. Because I think people think that it's going to be a much tougher job than it actually is to blend. Now, when this dries, I'll give you an example of how easy the media mat is to clean. Because I've got just a little bit of kitchen paper here. I'll put this off to one side there. Just give it a little spritz. You can just clean it with water.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure this isn't why everyone's tuned in to watch me clean, but I just thought it'd be worth mentioning.
You've got your apron on, your cleaning products out.
Do you know what? I feel like I didn't think I would be so much of a dad, if you know what I mean. But I feel like I just give it up. I'm wearing an apron. I'm very well practiced at cleaning, and my dad joke game is insane
Fabulous.
now. Okay, so I'm going to just dry this with the heat tool. Obviously, you don't need to dry it with the heat tool.
No.
Just going to speed it up while we're here. I think that delay has sort of improved, which is great.
I think it has. I'm trying to give you a few seconds when I speak, but I think it's okay.
Yeah, it seems okay. So we're going to build up our scene now. So James, if I angle this way, is that best for the viewers? Is that the way up now? Okay. Yeah, it should be. This should be towards the floor. So.
Right. Yes. Perfect.
That's
Thank you.
upwards.
So you're going to work upside down.
For everyone at home, I'm going to work upside down. That is how skilled I am. Okay, so I'm going to give the cardstock a test. Now, I did take some just smooth white card at first, and I thought, you know what, I want it to be very, very crisp. But Sizzix cardstock tears so well, and I want it to be organic. And what I mean by that is that I don't want it to look scissor-cut. It's going to be a nice snowy, kind of hilly scene there. Sorry, I'm holding it this way. So that's kind of my snowy floor, because this is going to be a wintry make. So
beautiful.
I'm going with that snowy floor. Now I'm going to do this one as well, because I want to layer the colours like this. So I'm just measuring up. There we go. I've prepared some earlier that are going to look like this. Now this is where me die cutting with that circle, and don't worry, we will get to the actual dies very soon.
Okay.
This is where the circle is going to come in really handy, because as you can probably see there, we're starting to get that sort of scene we're after.
Absolutely.
So I want to make sure we've got some of that gradient in there. These are just going to be off, and there we go. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
That's going to look really lovely. It looks like a kind of winter sunset.
It does.
I did this make recently, and I picked it especially because, well, I did a summary version of it, which I will show you after, just to show that these dies are evergreen. They're not all just seasonal. But the cameraman who's currently holding the camera, he was telling me about how much he really loved this make. So this is especially for him.
And
there we go.
Is James, isn't it? We always have to credit the wonderful cameraman or woman. So,
you know, it's hard work, you know, getting the right angles.
Of course it is.
Fantastic job.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
it's doing amazing.
There we are. I'm just layer it. That was almost like I cut you off because James was getting too much praise. I was like getting jealous. Stop talking about James. This is my hour.
He's loving it. Is James a crafter as well?
He's kind of like half nodding and half shaking his head. I think he's very talented. He's very creative. Don't know if he's a paper crafter, but a crafter of videos.
There's lots of different types of craft. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, so I'm gonna layer this up now using my foam tape, and I just love the way that the sentiment there sets that off. Now, I'm gonna build up the foam tape so that one layer here, I'm gonna need 2 layers further up to kind of,
of course,
of closer towards that end. So I'll just peel these off here, and then I'm going to put just another layer on each side there of the foam tape just to balance it out. And it doesn't need to be kind of neat here because this is all behind the scenes.
Yeah.
There we go. So I chose to use paint because while on my maternity leave, Daisy, my daughter, was kind of sleeping. I thought, well, this is the time for me to just, you know, pick something to do. So I started an acrylic paint.
Oh, I've seen your painted them. Absolutely amazing. So you've nearly finished, haven't you?
Well, it's something that I think I'm going to be doing it for a very long time, but I'm getting with my Instagram. I absolutely love doing it. So here is the background. We've got that lovely blended sky there. Now it's time to just finish this off with those dies. Now, this is just the start of the make. The dies that we're using on this set are what are going to be the stars of the show, because look how this make comes to life. All I need to do is stick these little characters here. How cute are these?
They are adorable.
So nice to put together too. There we are. The fox is standing there, and then the tail.
Are they just paper pieced?
Yeah. So these are layered dies, thin lit dies. Let it just kind of come off the edge there because in a box frame.
Gorgeous.
Actually, do you know what? This will go over the top there, like that. Now, okay, so all I need to do is add this lovely pine tree here. That's going to finish it off. I might put that right in the background there.
Right behind both of the hills. Or
yeah.
They're not really hills, are they? Well, I suppose the back one is. We'll go with the back one.
Yeah, sort of snowy hills. We'll go in between the hills there. There's a lovely tree. And have a look at that now. Halfway through doing this, I realised that I had done something wrong,
Oh,
which is that
no.
I haven't utilised my frame, but don't worry, because I'll show you what I was going to do. Now, this is a wintry make. We've got that lovely fa la 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 sentiment, and yes, I'm going to say every la
Every single time.
every single time. But have a look at this one that I made in a recent live. It's the same sort of thing. There's the background. This was the sentiment here. It says home is where we are together. And then I'm going to take these off here to just show you what I would have done. So I'm going to frame it up again.
Totally different feel to it.
Exactly. So you've got the mix here of this set can be either summer or winter or autumn or whatever you choose. So let's have a look at it in the frame.
Definitely.
This is where it blows my mind every time. Little thing in there, the little insert. And as soon as I put the back on here, it really comes to life. Look at that.
Wow, look at that. That is beautiful. Absolutely. You've got a little bit of movement there, because I guess they're not completely glued down.
No, that's it. So we're using the foam tape. We're creating layers. These lovely illustrative cloud elements come as part of the set. So you can see here that I've put that lighter cloud in front of the darker cloud, and I've added the dimension. And you're
perfect.
Right, it's the movement, the light kind of plays over it. So
I love that.
You can make it like this, and it goes on the wall. It's going to kind of look a bit different at every point of the day, depending on where the sun is. So that's a really cool aspect.
That would look absolutely amazing on your daughter's wall, I'm sure, on a nursery wall.
Oh yeah. Do you know what? I've been saving a lot of makes as I'm making them. I have my eye on them for the nursery.
Yeah, I bet.
And I think everyone's probably going to be seeing a lot of Maisie in any upcoming scrapbook make. I'm absolutely obsessed. So let's try another make here. So I'm going to be using that Santa Activities die set here. So I've pre-cut one of these Santas because a die like this, when you are layering it up, that is all part of the fun. But it's kind of watching me choose where to put what is going to be the most entertaining thing to watch. So I've prepped just a few elements of this card. Now, I've used the same sort of effect here. I'm going to do the same thing with that brayer. So we'll just do that quick. I'll start with the yellow this time. Limoncello, I should say. And we're going to just brayer that up again. And again, you don't need it to be perfect. In fact, you know, imperfection often kind of leads to a really, really nice make. So
absolutely.
In together a little bit there.
I think my whole craft career has been built on happy accidents.
That word, isn't it? It's happy accidents. I love that word because it covers all bases.
Absolutely.
Here we are. So Christmas, this isn't one of our stamps. I did this because I wanted to sort of tell a story with the make. But I this again because we're going to go for that lovely snowy feel, driving home for Christmas in the snow. And I'm on here. Now I will again use some foam tape. Now foam tape is going to come in very handy in a lot of the makes that I'm showing you today because I absolutely love the stuff.
I know, I'm using it all the time. What brand do you use? Can you say?
Sizzix.
It is Sizzix. I wasn't sure if Sizzix did foam tape, but now I know.
Yeah, we've got just have a look on the website. It's just it's absolutely great stuff here, and you can tear it. I'm sure that you can do with most brands, but that for me is a big kind of selling point. Some of them you find that you need to snip it, and I don't like getting foam tape on my scissors.
No.
So here's the base. Now, would wait for that to dry, but I've prepped one earlier, like this. This is where that car, now I'm going to show this car up because it's a really enjoyable area, but I've done most of it is here. If I just show you, look, here's the die set here. The tyres come in 3 different parts, so it's quite detailed. They come in the actual tyre, the rim, and then we've got an opportunity to put kind of a shiny cap on it, which I think is a really nice effect.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, it's, I think just little elements like that, you know, putting something metallic in a that's mostly matte. For me, it's kind of, there we go. So here's my truck. I've got a few little elements that I've previously cut here. So you can choose to put these on or not. Now here is another great use of my media mat. This is how I like to apply my adhesive. Just like this, especially to smaller pieces like that. I mean, if I had thought ahead, I might have used our adhesive sheets for this because, you know, when it's small elements,
yeah,
you're not going to have any mess. But
so you're not one of these people who will put the glue on your hand.
Oh, as in on the back. Well,
yeah.
I have seen people doing that at Create and Craft, and I don't mean to sound sort of sexist, but it seems to be just the women who do it, and I think that's because those men have got quite a bit of hair on the back of our hands. Trying to take glue off.
It actually hurts, unless I've got particularly hairy hands, it actually hurts me to pull the glue off afterwards as well anyway, so I just don't do it.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I have seen people doing that, and I thought it was really clever, but it's not for me. Although when I was in primary school, give me a bit of PVA glue and I'll be sticking that to my hands all day long. And
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. There we go. So I'm going to put my car up here. I'll just angle this rod. Now, I'm going to, the tyres, they are to the car. So where I want it, and then I'll put the tyres on afterwards. And I like it because it allows me to stick the tyres kind of to the forefront, layer in pieces and have the car floating. It's a really good technique. So I will stick this down there. And I like to put a bit of an angle on it as well.
Kind of trekking up a hill, isn't it?
There we go. Yeah, I'm imagining the sort of suspension going mad in this car. It's kind of a rocky drive home where maybe down a country lane.
Oh, I had one of those recently. I went to Wales actually, to your end of the world, and
did you?
Yeah, we were in a truck going up.
North Wales.
Yeah, it was North Wales. Yeah, but we were in a truck going up a mountain, so we could do some zip lining. It was the scariest ride of my life.
Did you go to the big zip line? Where
yeah, we did.
That looks very intense.
It was amazing.
I would like to do that.
You should, absolutely. Everybody should. It's fantastic.
Just for the time being, and then I'll do these sort of life-threatening, adventurous things.
Yeah, yes.
So there's a little bit of a story behind this. Well, not a story, just something that really annoyed me was that there are 2 Santas here, and I started putting them together, all the bits out. I chose all the colours, and then I realised when I put this guy in, he's doing a bit of reckless driving because he's facing the wrong way there. So I had that both Santas are facing different ways, but you know, I don't want to sort of encourage driving whilst looking behind you.
Well, I suppose the truck could be at a standstill and they're having a little party in the back, maybe.
That is a good point, and I do actually really like the live. So do you know what? Because you said that. Now I'll do this off screen because I am cutting his legs off. But there we are. I'm going to have him facing backwards. He's being a little bit reckless, but he's excited about coming home for Christmas, and that's why.
Aren't we all? When we've finished work for Christmas, it's the best drive home ever.
Oh, Pete Hughes, he tells me this story every year about when he was stuck in traffic coming home for Christmas, and then that song came on.
Yep.
And he said it was one of his fondest Christmas memories.
Ah. Oh, bless him.
Okay. Yeah. But just so everyone knows as well, he is fine. He's on annual leave. I know you were worried.
No, it's just unusual because usually Pete jumps in and says, yeah, I'll do the live. And we love to have new people, though, and hopefully you'll do it again with us at some point.
Yeah, definitely. I love a CraftStash live. There we go. And all I'm going to do is just mount this now in the front of my card. And then this is a finished card.
Fabulous, thank you.
A little more paint on the front than I would have liked at first.
It's
but
wonderful.
I absolutely love that.
Absolutely brilliant.
So
love that.
Set, I could have used so many different elements from this set on this sort of card there. You've got those little trees that could go in the back there. That can tell a bit of a story because he's maybe holding on to the tree that's in the back of his truck to drive home on that rocky ride home. Those Christmas lights just coming from that corner. There's lots of different ways that I could finish off a card. Any set like this, I think, is like an investment because when you've got all those different elements, it's just going to keep giving and giving and giving. You know, there are so many different combinations of these elements that you could use on a Christmas card.
Absolutely.
I just think it's a sort of no-brainer.
Definitely. And how many dies, Josh, are in that particular set?
So there are 11 dies in this set.
Brilliant.
You know, that's brilliant. If I can show you on there, you can see all the dies that come with it.
It's a little bit, the picture's gone a little bit blurry again, so we won't see detail. But never mind. We can see there's a lot in there.
Yeah. So there we go. That's two of my best of mates, and then we've got that one really summery mate. I'm going to use a bit of stencil film next because this is another make where, you know, there's just loads of nice little techniques, and then we're going to really finish it off and become the star of the show. So I have prepared already. You might not be able to tell, but there is some stencil film on the front of here, and I've just stuck that down with a bit of readjustable adhesive spray, just so that I know the edges aren't going to come up here, because we are going to do some inking, and we're going to get to use this really lovely Sky Party die set here. So I will just clean up my mat.
Okay, well, I'm just going to come back for a second, just so James knows the picture's quite pixelated again, so I don't know if there's anything his end he can do, but we'll come back to you in about 1 minute, if that's okay.
Perfect.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Look, he's cleaning again. he's got his apron and he's cleaning away. It's very good. I'm going to invite him round, actually, round to my house. Today we are looking at brand new Chapter 3 products from Sizzix. Absolutely beautiful. We are looking at a Christmassy theme, but as Josh has shown us already, you absolutely do not need to be using these at Christmas time. You can take them into lots of other times of the year as well. So you're going to be able to find everything that Josh is showing you, and he's still got another demonstration. Everything that he's showing you is at craftstash.co.uk, craftstash.us otherwise. If you are spending at CraftStash over £30, now I'm thinking about the prices of die sets and things, you could probably just put in 2 or 3 items into your basket and you've likely gone over that £30 limit. You're then going to get free P&P in the UK, which is brilliant. If you're over in the US, that is an $80 limit, and then you get your free delivery there as well. But then if you're spending over £40, that's going to allow you to use ClearPay if you wish. Now, obviously you don't have to, but if you want to spread the cost over 2 weekly payments, no credit check required, and you will receive your items with the first payment. Oh, and there's no interest on them either. You can use that, but that's for orders over £40 too. So I think once you go over your £30, over your £40 free delivery, the option to use ClearPay, absolutely fantastic. Definitely make sure you're checking out the essentials on CraftStash, because that's where you're going to get things like your cardstock, your glues, your tapes, all the tapes you've seen Josh using as well. We have Sizzix cardstock on our website as well. If you go to brands on CraftStash, you can search through every single brand. You'll see how many hundreds of them we've got. Go to the S, go to Sizzix, and you'll find everything from Sizzix there. You can then even filter down to your essentials, your dyes, whatever, stamp sets, embossing folders. Okay, right, Josh, I think I can see him beavering away in the background. I think, yeah, he's okay for me to come back. Lovely. I come back to you. Ah, lovely. Do you know what? The picture's improved. I don't know what magic James has worked.
He's just very, very talented.
Well done, James. Thank you.
Different things. You know what? I'm give him a big head. It just happened. Our Wi-Fi improved. No.
Okay. Lovely. Thank you. I'm going to leave. Sorry, I'm talking. We have still got a bit of a delay. It often happens, but I'm going to be quiet, and I'm just going to let you do your thing.
But yeah, I would like to sort of apologise for the quality. I think it could be the Wi-Fi on our end is a bit affected at the minute, so just bear with. I really hope with it kind of clear enough that we can get some clear views, and I will kind of bring the makes individually to the camera later on, hopefully, well, soon, when we've got that better picture.
Brilliant.
So we have here some of our Sizzix stencil film. I hope you can see that. And I've printed Take the Leap, and that's a bit of a clue as to kind of what this card is going to be about, what sort of story it's going to tell. Now, our stencil film, if I can just find a piece, there we are, I'm very prepared. Our stencil film is great, again, for that kind of organic tear. Now, I'm going to be creating a little scene here using some distress inks. And what I've done is I have torn almost a V shape there, like this. So I want it to, again, be organic. And I'm going to make a corner here like that. So this is what I would layer over my card here. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be the same each time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this. So I've got some of my Tim Holtz Ranger Distress Inks. This is jeans.
Lovely.
I am going to use my ink pad here. Now I'm going to come over this with a few colours. You might see the Media Mat makes this a sort of easy work because I can get most of the ink off my inker before I've even started, which is great.
Great, yeah. It sounds like a silly thing to want to do if you're a beginner to craft, doesn't it? Put it on and then take it off again, but it makes sense for layering and building up the colour, doesn't it?
100%, yeah. I mean, it's something where, you know, before a show in the past, me and Pete have spent hours caking these in ink and then spending a long time getting most of the ink off, because in my opinion, it is always best to just go with, you know, less is more. You can always add more, but you can't take it away.
And so presumably you can pick it up off of that Media Mat again?
Do you know what? I've never tried that. You can do it if you give the Media Mat a spray.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's a really good way to do it. So I'm going to come in with a torn edge here. Now, hopefully you can see this.
Yeah.
I'm going to position this down here, and that almost gives me a little surface here. So I'm going to come in like this, and you'll see what I'm getting at in just a sec.
It will all become clear.
It will become clear. So I'm going to go over that again now. So where it was kind of light, I'm making it a little bit darker, not too much darker, just enough to change the colour where I've torn that little bit. And then I might come in with some black now, some black soot.
Ooh.
Just to balance out that faded jeans colour, because I want it to be a bit more, is the word sophisticated?
I very rarely use black soot for blending.
Oh, black soot is one of my favorites. You can get a really nice dark, seems a funny thing to say, or you can get a really nice just kind of grey.
Yeah,
so this is what we're left with here. And if I peel this off now, you will see.
Ah, look at that. There's the artist. Look at that.
So there we are. So it's what the effect I'm going for here is. This is an iceberg.
Yeah.
Take the leap, and obviously we're going to use that fantastic polar bear, because if I show you the set, he looks as though he is taking a leap. He's actually lying on a balloon there.
Do you know what? Because we had the issues with the picture earlier, I didn't quite make him out. I can see him now.
Well, luckily I've pre-cut my polar bear.
Oh, do you know what? He's a really good size, isn't he?
Great size, yeah. So here is. So I'm gonna move this one out of the way because he needs to be leaping off. And I prepared one earlier with the same sentiment and just the same images there.
Mm-hmm.
And all I will do for this is add a bit of foam, of course. My polar bear. He's made to be kind of relaxing on a balloon, but I want him to be taking the leap from one
brilliant
iceberg to the next.
Isn't that fantastic? And that would work for a new job or so many different occasions.
Well, this is exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking, take the leap is sort of sentiment. Any card like that, take the leap. It could be for a graduation, as you say, going for a new job. It could be someone getting married or engaged or anything. It has a lot of different purposes. So there is one card where I've used this set and some inking. I'm going to do one more where I am using the same card and some inking. So I will just get my little.
Oh, we're going to get 4 demos.
4 demos in because, if we have the time, do we have time for a
yeah, we have time.
Okay.
We always have time.
I'll go relatively quick though, and I'll try and make sure we end on a good note. So have a look here. I have stuck some stencil film down, but I pre-cut stencil film using cloud elements from this set over here that we've already used, which was called Woodland Baby. So make sure you go onto the CraftStash website, have a look at the whole chapter 3 range, because I'm only using a snippet of it here, and I've just picked some of my favorites, but there are so many fantastic dies there. So I cut that lovely illustrative cloud element, but I'm using it with this set here, and that just shows sets. These are cohesive. This is a whole story, this chapter.
Great.
So you can use one die with the others. So you get in that kind of that extra value. I'm going to come back in with my blue, and I'm just going to lightly ink over this. Now, lightly being the operative word, because it's very easy to ruin a make with ink. There we go. I remember when I first started crafting. When I first started working at Sizzix, actually, and it was Pete he gave me that, the expression. It's like salt in a meal. You can always add more, but as soon as you've added too much, that's it, game over.
Yeah, you can't take it back.
Can't take it back. There we go. So I'm not going to go absolutely mad. I know I've inked enough here. I've created a nice little gradient from the top to the bottom, and when I peel these cloud elements off, we're going to be left with that nice crisp area.
Lovely. It always surprises me when you're stenciling how little ink it takes to create an effect, because like you say, you're putting it on and you think, well, I don't know if you'll see that. It's not until you reveal the bright white underneath that you realise how much ink you've actually applied.
Yeah, it's such a good point, because the contrast is there even if you don't think it is. The two sides of the stencil film might both look white after you do it, but then when you have a closer look, the actual edge of the stencil film is always really visible. So you're right say, it is. That's a really good point. So all we've got to do really is just stick some little bits down. And now, because I inked this card, what I tend to do most of the time is when I ink a card, I ink the dies as well, rather than using the card stock.
Right.
It's
okay.
just a little preference of mine. I like ink stuff with ink stuff, but can you make out these?
Yeah, penguins. They're super cute.
I love these penguins. I would buy this die set just for these two penguins. And these are such a small part of it. He looks like he's doing a Saturday Night Fever strut. And the other one,
he does.
got those little nice little kind of illustrative eyes there. Now I'm just going to stick this down on here again. I'm going to be using foam tape, and I'd love in the comments. I always ask for this, and I don't often get it, but people have started sending me pictures of their makes. Use either these dies or something that you might have bought recently.
Well, you've completely inspired me. Melissa, so talking about the comments, Melissa has said the penguins are so cute. Rena said, love the penguins, they're my son's favourite. Oh, Lynn Clifton, love the penguins. Josh couldn't make those out in the packaging. There we go. So couldn't make them out in the packaging, but now we can see them really clearly.
Oh, I'm so glad that you've seen them, because honestly, for me, they are perfection.
They are adorable, aren't they? Yeah, so sharing makes, I mean, obviously tag, like I said, Josh is on Instagram, but you can also, of course, tag Sizzix. And then CraftStash, if you've bought anything from CraftStash and used it, we love to use the hashtag CraftStash, just so we see your makes. We can then share them. Sometimes we even take viewers and customers' cards and put them on our actually on our website with the product to show other people how amazing you can make projects using that particular item. So it's well worth tagging everybody you can think of.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Instagram is such a nice community as well.
It is.
When people put their makes on, you get everybody commenting on them. You know, I love to see what people are doing with our dies. And Instagram is the perfect place for that. Now, so the make is... What I've forgotten is normally I would have a very thin fine line and just draw a line there to be the string on those little hearts. Silly me, I have misplaced them. So it would look something like that. We
got the idea. Do you know what we can imagine? It's like a very, very fine string that you can not really see.
It's wire. It's like fishing wire.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So, that's basically all I've got to show today, but I will just, for those people who have sort of persevered and wanted to see the makes, now that hopefully we've got a bit of a better picture quality, I'll put them all together now.
That'll be brilliant. Fantastic.
There we go. I'll just put the back on this little... There we are. So there is my shadow box make that I made for these stunning little character dies there. This is the background that I made earlier. Do you know what? Even though I've taken these characters off here to put on, off here to put on this one, just that tree on its own.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Blended background. That is a certain sophistication in that. I would put this up on my wall 100%.
Absolutely.
There is that little penguin die. And here...
And you can't forget the polar bear. Oh, and the car.
Yeah, the polar bear as well.
Oh, I forgot about the car.
Oh. There's the polar bear.
Look at that. There's so many. You've done so much in an hour, Josh. We're really grateful.
Oh, no problem at all. It's always absolutely brilliant. I love the community at CraftStash. So it's always a pleasure to do a live for you.
Thank you so much. Now, as the picture is just starting to go on its way out again, it's a perfect time to say goodbye, I think. Thank you so much, Josh. Hopefully we'll see you again very soon.
Cheers. Thanks, Lou.
Take care. Bye-bye. That's lovely, Josh. Isn't he absolutely, I mean, amazingly talented? Those a couple of die sets that he showed you, the cards that he's made, I'm completely inspired to start stenciling and inking and layering. I'm going to have a fun afternoon, I think. So everybody, you can go and check out everything that's new from Sizzix on CraftStash. It's all in stock. Go and have a look at the brand, the craft brands. Go to go to Sizzix. Look at everything there, including your tools and essentials as well. Now, I'm going to be back next Friday, not next Friday, this Friday. Wow, the week's flying. I'm going to be back this Friday with a brand new launch from Apple Blossom. And then, of course, again next week, we do have at least a minimum of 2 launches, usually 3 launches in a week now. So keep up with our lives by going to the Facebook page or YouTube. You can see our scheduled lives in the events on Facebook, and they're there on YouTube as well. So you can just click to notify you, remind you, so that you don't miss out on anything. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again on Friday. So from me and from Josh, who's in the background, bye bye, take care.